Yo, welcome back.
I'm Nichole.
And I'm Steve with the LevelUp Growth Show.
No matter who it is, I need just a little reefer. You see, smoking sweet as Chiba. A jazz cabbage in my lettuce badge. Sweet fumas in the
And today we have a special guest on.
Yeah, we have House and Gardens. We're so excited to have House and Gardens here today. It is the nutrient line that I personally use, so I'm very excited to have them here today. And so we have Ward with us today from House and Gardens. Hi, Ward.
How you guys doing?
Doing great.
So Ward, before we get into it, why don't you just tell us your background and how you ended up where you are today, sitting here with us?
Okay. Born and raised in St. Louis. Moved to Humboldt County, California in the late 90s. Went to HSU there, or Humboldt State University, for anyone who's familiar with that.
I see you have your Cardinals hat on today, representing the fine state of Missouri.
That's right. Gotta, always stay in touch with your roots, right?
Here in Illinois, like in central Illinois, right, especially in lower Illinois, we're kind of split between Cubs and Cardinals, right? But lower Illinois, we tend to go with the Cardinals. And I grew up in Peoria, but we are Cardinals fans, my whole family.
Well, McGuire, I'm pretty sure, or no, Pujols, he played for the Peoria Chiefs, and that's where the area
right.
we're from. So
yeah, we have a farm league in our city. So like, I believe it's AAA. Maybe it is, but they go up to the majors from there. So we get a lot of people that watch, and it's Cardinals based.
Sure. Speaking of Cardinals, we're going to give you guys a chance at home to win 2 Cardinals tickets.
Cardinals tickets for you in the Midwest. Anybody who's watching, really, but we know you Midwest fans want to go to the Cardinals game.
Yeah, so just
tickets to give away.
In order to be entered to win this, just shout out your favorite team right now. We don't care if it's the Cardinals or who it is, and you'll be entered to win a couple of Cardinals tickets.
Yeah, there's going to be lots of chances to win. This isn't the only time to win, but this is one of the opportunities where you can win 2 tickets to see the Cardinals plays this spring.
Yeah, so that'd be a good little trip for somebody.
Yeah, and so continue on, Ward. You said you
Ward,
moved out to California.
We cut you off when you said you went to college. I don't know.
Yeah. No.
Me and her, we know that school though. That school's awesome.
No worries. Yeah. Went out there for school. Have always kind of been involved in the cannabis world from the beginning, and Humboldt County at the time, and still has always been kind of one of the innovative centers as far as cannabis.
It's like groundbreaking. Yeah. It's the groundbreaking state there that kind of pushed the limits, right?
Is it the weather? Is it the people? Like, why?
I think it's a combination of all of the things that you just said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Certainly the people out there, it's a much smaller community. It's a temperate rainforest, very far north in California, right on the coast.
It's like everything lines up perfectly for growing good cannabis.
So how did you end up working for House and Garden?
I started in closets and moved into bedrooms, and then bedrooms to garages, and then garages to outdoor.
As you were perfecting your growing.
Yeah, and kind of simultaneous to that, a friend of mine had opened a few hydro stores in Northern California. Actually, at the time, North Coast Horticulture Supply was the largest indoor garden supply store in the country.
Okay.
So he was one of the people that was involved in going to Holland and acquiring this line, essentially, and bringing it to the United States for sales.
So House and Garden started in Holland.
Yeah.
That's where, and that's in the Amsterdam area?
Yes.
Yeah.
And basically the Van de Schwan family, who originally owned House and Garden, were a rose and tulip company in Holland, largest in the world.
So the swan has to do with Holland then, right? So I'm looking at the logo. I've been looking at it for a long time. We've been selling it for going on 4 years now almost.
Yeah. Yep.
And people love it, getting great results. So what's up with the swan?
Both Holland, as you mentioned, also the family's name is Van de Schwan.
Oh,
there it is.
And this is actually part of their family crest.
I love that.
I love that.
So it's kind of an ode to the original family.
That's
How cool
great.
is that?
William, who was the son of the original House and Garden family is the guy that produced this line here for Cannabis. And essentially, we brought it to the United States.
And when was it brought to the United States? You know what year that was?
I'm going to say late 90s, early 2000s, somewhere in there.
So I know you guys been around for at least 30 years. I did a little research, and
yes,
you've only been in our lives, my life, for like 4. I think you've been in Nicole's life a little longer than that, right?
Oh, over a decade.
Yeah, we've been around for a long time. Somewhere in there, laws started tightening up in Holland. They were prosecuting people for cannabis growing to the extent of, if they found a bottle in a cannabis garden that they had busted, they would then try to hold the manufacturer of the products liable.
That's wild.
For said cannabis garden. So an offer was made for the line to be purchased. A group of people in Northern California bought the line and moved the entire manufacturing facility to Humboldt County. We hired about 100 people.
So they felt that Humboldt County was going to kind of stick up for them a little bit, right? That's why they're there, and they're it's more friendly there, obviously.
We were their largest United States was the largest.
Think about it,
retail
like
market.
to me, Humboldt County is almost like the grassroots beginning of the movement.
No, it absolutely
and
is.
It was the most important place at one time, right?
Yeah, and there's still a lot of innovation that comes out of there that doesn't come out of anywhere else.
Agreed. I agree.
All the way down to genetics and things like that. So there are many very good companies that all come out of that area, and we all work tightly together. Again, it's a very small community, so we all pass knowledge back and forth between each other.
Which is great, because that's what we're all about, is sharing knowledge and just really letting everybody grow and level up together.
And what's cool is you talked about you knew someone with some hydro stores. You probably paid attention when everybody was using and seeing the results of that and learning even faster. And we've witnessed that, me and her, over the few years here at the stores. Is the knowledge that comes in is just, I love it. I can't get enough.
When you work together. And you've seen it in the last 20 years. The science behind cannabis growing and how it's really just had a trajectory of really moving rapidly,
Absolutely. I mean, and that's what sets a line like ours apart from a lot of other nutrient lines is, a lot of the products that are in this industry now are what we call pre-packs or repacks. So basically they're products that have been used in other areas of agriculture that have been repurposed for cannabis growing.
Yeah.
And you miss out on a lot when you're doing that.
Right. Yeah, because it's not specifically made for cannabis. It's just used for cannabis instead of made for cannabis.
Absolutely.
This line is made for cannabis. And my question is, when it came to America, did the whole line come? Or is this some of the stuff you've added since you've gotten to America?
For the most part, the whole line came across. We do sell some products in other countries that we do not sell here in the U.S. And as far as newer products, there's a couple products that we've come out with over the last decade or so, just because we had a lot of people asking for them. And we basically try to make things as easy as possible for growers. So like the magnesium boost, the nitrogen boost, those are both supplemental products that not everybody uses. They're only necessary in very specific situations.
Right. Maybe a specific strain or specific environment that you're in.
So everyone at home, don't get confused here. Everything you see in front of him isn't what you need. It's just things you can use for different things. And also I've learned is some of this stuff is better for certain strains. So you want to use the nitrogen boost or whatever with this strain, and this strain won't need it. And
that's right.
Can you tell me a little bit about that real quick? Just the basics?
The baselines and stuff?
Yeah, so, another thing that kind of sets us apart, we're a two-part system, so an A and a B. We make different A and Bs for different types of growing. So we make soil for growing in your soil mixes. We make cocoa for growing in cocoa or any mix that is 30% or more cocoa involved. And then we make aquaflakes, which is going to be mostly for water applications. We've also found that it works really well for peat. So, anyone who's using a quote-unquote soil mix that's actually peat moss, they're going to get
Aquaflakes
better
would be
results running the Aquaflakes.
And the cocoa and the soil lines is something you guys added just recently over the years, right?
No, we've always had all three bases.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So here's a little secret, and you need to tell me if I'm right or wrong. So I have always used Aquaflakes. It's something that I got a recipe years ago from a friend, and I've just kind of kept it. It runs really clean for me. I use a cocoa soil mix. So am I wrong for using Aquaflakes? Should I be using soil or cocoa, or I just always used Aquaflakes?
Sure. So any of the bases will work in any environment. That being said, if you are using Aquaflakes, for example, in a cocoa-heavy mix, you're going to have to supplement in some other things that may not be
So
in
I
the
add
Aquaflakes.
calcium and magnesium, but I have noticed on this run, it's not as dark green as typical, and it doesn't matter how much I up my nudes, I can't seem to bring that green in. And I'm still in veg right now, but I'm getting ready to flip, and I really want to bring that green back.
Sure. So in it with a cocoa mix, or with the cocoa A and B, basically the levels of calcium and magnesium have been increased to compensate for cocoa's holding, binding ability with
The cation.
Yes,
Cayenne.
exactly. So it's similarly Aquaflakes. Most people who are running water applications are using pumps. Pumps put out a magnetic field which draw a nutrient out of the solution. So again, levels have been increased to compensate for what's going on with the magnetic fields in the systems with the Aquaflakes.
So would you suggest switching to cocoa? I do use a pump. I do have a reservoir and a pump that I use.
If you wanted to drop out the CalMag, I would definitely switch to
Because
cocoa
I
A
add
and B.
CalMag to my recipe right now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So too much-
I'm going to keep that in mind. 'Cause
So does too much
honestly-
CalMag just raise the alkalinity too high, or is it just...
Well, essentially, if you stack calcium too hard, you're going to lock out the plant. And
Gotcha.
then you're going to spend a lot of time trying to fix, the lockout that you just created.
Yep.
And a lot of times, it's like a domino effect. Once you get one problem and you try to fix it, then another problem comes up, and you're
Yes.
constantly battling with trying to figure out what's going on
Back
with your
and
plant.
forth.
Well, this
back
is a
and
good
forth.
learning experience for everyone at home. So you hear a lot of people say CalMag, more cowbell. It's
Add more
CalMag.
cowbell.
And we find a lot of time that isn't the answer.
Well, you'll
And
lock it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get
So that's good.
Well, and another thing that people, it's what am I trying to say here? Another thing that happens a lot is people see calcium deficiencies, which closely mimic magnesium deficiencies, and they throw in a CalMag product thinking they're going to fix the issue. And again, it goes to lockout like we were talking about.
Right. So then maybe they're getting calcium, but they're locking out the magnesium, and then all of a sudden you have a whole nother issue that you're dealing with.
More often than not, I find that that's the case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me. So anyway, I do love House and Gardens though. Like I said, I've used it for over a decade. I have gone on to other nutrient lines, tried them, and I always go back to my home, my comfort zone.
Sure.
It runs clean for me. It's always given me a good quality product. It works every time, so I'm always happy with
It seems like the reaction is pretty quick. Is there a process going into this to help the uptake process, like chelated, or what do you
Yeah.
guys do with your products?
Everything is chelated. Yeah.
Chelated. There we go.
Yep.
Chelated.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, so
and
it's
tell
readily
the
available to
viewers
the
what does
plant.
that mean?
It basically means that all of the nutrients that are in the bottles are readily available for the plant to absorb, so the plants don't have to spend as much energy breaking things down in order to eat them.
That's right. And is this a pH balance? Is it pH perfect? Like I know that I don't really have to pH it. If I'm using silica, I will, because the silica will drop it way down.
Right.
But if I'm just using my base nutrients and the recipe, I don't usually have to pH.
Yes, it should be fairly stable, pretty stable for most people. I mean, environment, water, other things you're adding into the
Sure,
system,
that all
those are all
matters.
going to affect.
But if you're using an RO water and you're mixing it and using it that day, you should be fine on the pH.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Talk to me about the amino treatment. It's special.
So that's the black bottle
the
here.
black bottle right here. Yep.
Yeah,
this one.
And there really is no other product out there like it. Why? What is so special about it?
So amino treatment we call Hulk in a bottle. Essentially, what it's doing, we run it through veg and even into early bloom. Amino acids play a variety of roles in, plant biology.
Yeah.
One of the roles specific to our mix of aminos is increasing sugar content in the plants. So essentially, you're using it in veg to build stronger tissue, stronger branches, stronger stalks, so you can support heavy fruit, basically taking stress away from the plant. It's also helping to increase internal sugars in the plant as you start moving into bloom. Another really...
So you're just using this in veg?
Right? Veg and
like
early bloom.
Early bloom.
Yeah, through like week 4-ish.
I think one thing that's important to note that a lot of people are missing when it comes to growing is they want to try to add things to make the bud bigger when it's in flower. Right? And I feel like there's only so much you can do. And sometimes it's a superficial weight that you're adding by the time it's in flower. The work goes in veg, right? When you're doing your amino treatments and your algin and your... We don't have any of that out here today. We need to have some
the
algin
extract.
Yeah, the Norwegian kelp.
Yep.
Oh man, so good.
Kelp.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. I mean, you want to basically, as you're growing your plant, from the beginning, you're trying to give your plant as many advantages through veg, so that once it moves into bloom and you've triggered autumn and you're stimulating flower development, the plant already has a lot of...
They're just on cruise control at that point, right? Like, you put the work in.
Yeah, and it's using internal processes to increase, your flowers, versus trying to stack it all on at the end, like you said before.
Yeah, that's right. So take note, it's super important to give your plants the love they need when they're in veg. Use the amino treatments, use the roots accelerator, do the Norwegian kelp extract. Yeah. All the things that your plant needs, all the good aminos, the bioactive soil.
And look at vegging as training for the Olympics. As soon as you hit flower, you don't want anything to affect what's going on, because it's going to affect yields, terpenes, and everything. Even from the beginning, I feel like you feel like that too. So in order for your product to work good, they need to have their room the right temperature and humidity and all that at home.
And support your plant. If your plant has to use the energy to hold itself up, it's not going to produce as big as buds because it's wasting that energy. Support your plant, give it the love it needs, and you will have good product at the end.
Yeah. So as far as veg goes, though, you also have a nitrogen boost.
Well, and I wanted to say one more thing about the amino treatment.
Yeah.
One thing that a lot of people don't realize off the bat with the amino treatment is that it is also our source of silica. So there is monosilicic silica in the amino treatment.
I did not know that.
So you need that during flowering for sure.
It brings,
it's a very important part.
Strong cell walls and nice strong stems.
Yeah. And helps prevent plant stress.
That's right. And pests. It keeps pests away.
Absolutely.
All that stuff.
Yep.
Makes
and
the
so
plant hardier.
A lot of our products, specifically the additives, have different mixes of amino acids in them. And they all serve multiple purposes. So you've got the main purpose of whatever the additive may be, and then there's a bunch of ancillary purposes that those products also serve, such as pest and fungal protection and things like that.
All those little things add up to make that quality product that you're looking for.
Yeah, you're building the immune system of the plant from the very beginning, and then you're starting the flowering process with a flawless looking plant, and so all this does matter. I really feel like all this does matter. But the other thing that really matters, that I don't actually run this line right now, but I do use the Roots Accelerator. And I feel like you offer things that are great for me to grab and just add with what I'm doing now to see what you guys are all about. So tell me a little bit about the Roots Accelerator.
If you haven't tried the whole line, just maybe picking up the Roots Accelerator and giving it a shot and seeing the quality that you're getting.
Yeah, I mean, all of our additives are formulated to work with any nutrient line out there. So we understand that, people learn certain things, people like the way that certain things work with, and they don't necessarily want to change everything that they're doing. So we've made sure to formulate things that you can integrate into whatever system you happen to be running, assuming that, you're going to keep an eye on your EC and your PPMs and things like that.
So the Roots Accelerator Gold, the way I use it is, as soon as my clones and my aeroponic cloner start throwing a little bit of roots, I add that, and the roots blow up. And I feel like that works great.
Between the silver and gold?
Yeah.
So the silver and gold, essentially the base properties are the same. One is formulated for water usage. One is formulated for soil, cocoa, peat. That's essentially the biggest difference.
So silver is hydro?
Silver is going to be for water. Yep.
Okay.
And then the gold is going to be for everything else. There is about twice the amount of beneficial bacteria in the gold versus the silver.
Because you're using it in soil.
Well, yes, and that is what's making it thicker, essentially. So there's extra bacteria, there's extra food for that bacteria, and so it makes the product a little thick to run through.
Does it have molasses in it? It kind of has like a molasses kind of feel to it.
It's got kind of. There's a few seed extracts in there. There's a lot of proprietary inputs.
And the pricing's about the same on both, right? Or are they vary in price? Or they're the same?
Same pricing, same dilution rates.
Yeah, just
just basically the gold is too thick to run through
hydro.
Hydro equipment.
I hear you. And I know we don't have a bottle of the Elgin extract out here, but that is we talked about Norwegian sea kelp, and it's chelated.
Yep.
And what makes that so special?
Well, it's cold pressed Norwegian sea kelp, so you're cold pressing the product to basically preserve, all of the quality and the life that's in there.
And sea kelp is one of the fastest growing plants on the earth.
It is.
Right. So using that helps our plants grow faster.
Is it the most nutrient dense plant on the earth? Almost. It has a lot of minerals in it. It's like 90 something minerals, or
I don't know if it's the most, but it's certainly up
it's got a lot.
Yeah. So it's got your macronutrients, your macronutrients, your vitamins, your natural plant antibiotics.
Yeah, that's like the immunity, building up some immunity for the plant and making it nice and strong and healthy.
Yep.
Very nice. I love that too. So those are kind of our, I guess, our additives that are shooting for that root, the soil amendments, and the nice big roots and strong structure, the beginning part of the plant.
Yeah, it's building a good system of biology that the plant can then, utilize. For growth.
Yeah.
So you guys also have some shooting powder, which is great for anybody to add during flower, I feel like. And one of those little satchels makes what, like 25 gallons or something?
So we have the little packets of shooting powder and then the top shooter, which are the same thing, right? Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so the shooting powder is going to be your late bloom booster.
Like your PK boost.
PK, yeah. Last 2 to 3 weeks of bloom is when you'd be using those products. As you said, there's the powder and the liquid version. The liquid version essentially is for anyone who's mixing less than 25 gallons at a time. The powder is very sensitive to moisture. So once you open those sachets, if you're not using all of the powder that's in the sachet, it's very hard to store.
And one sachet is for 25 gallons. So if you're not making a big reservoir, it's easier to use the top shooter liquid. But the powder and the liquid are essentially the same.
Yeah.
Just stored differently.
Yeah. The top shooter is the shooting powder that's been, diluted in Holland water. Basically.
So people can have a little bit of Holland in their home if they get the top shooter. They got a little Holland water in there.
Oh, Holland water, yeah.
Right.
But the top shooter contains phospholipid bilayer, right? So that kind of helps with the oil synthesis. And tell me a little bit about that, because that's important for us growers.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, aside from wanting to bulk up with potassium and phosphorus,
we all want big bulky
at
buds.
the end, it's very important to increase oil production, increase
that's what I'm
terpene production, things like that.
I want it to be the terpiest terpy.
Yes, and that's another thing about this line is that we encourage people to grow boutique cannabis, good, solid, tasty, smell-filled medicine.
That's right.
Essentially.
High grade, good medicine.
It's top shelf. When I harvest, I mean, that's the quality I get. It's top shelf, and I do use all of these additives. And if I go to something else, it's not that I'm not happy with it. It just doesn't hit that top shelf quality that I'm looking for sometimes.
I feel like taste matters at the end. Do you have a lot of terpene expression at the end, or don't you?
Right.
And I feel like if you're missing some of this stuff, like the amino in your line, or you're trying to cheaply get by or something,
you're not hitting it with that.
You're not getting that terpene expression that all of us have been seeing and smelling, and it's different level. It's great.
Yeah, and there's a lot of ways to bulk up your plants at the end to increase the terps. but a lot of those processes end up muting individual characteristics of whatever genetics you happen to be growing. So, another thing about using a line like this is you're enhancing the plant's ability to produce its own sugars and terpenes.
Yeah, as a grower, I want to release all the characteristics of that individual pheno, and not subdue, and that I think is super important, because it's something that we can do really easily as a grower, is subdue those terpenes and the different types of qualities that plant's going to produce. When you're using something and doing it properly, you can bring out all sorts of characteristics, and they might be subtle, but you're going to notice them.
Yeah, it matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of goes back to what we were talking about earlier with veg. I was saying how the amino treatment is going to help the plant produce more sugars. You start going into bloom. We've got a product called Bud XL. Essentially what that product is doing is it is pulling the sugars out of unused portions of the plant, like the leaves and the stems, and pushing those sugars into the flower sites. So again, enhancing the natural genetics, flavor, smell.
And what's the difference between Bud XL and Top Booster? Because you're using both of them throughout the flower period, but on Top Booster, I'm only using it during 1 week of flower.
So Top Booster is essentially triggering autumn in the plant. So it's telling the plant anything that I give you from now on, I want to go into flower production. No more vertical growth, no more horizontal growth, no more, excess leaf growth.
So we're doing that in week 5 because we're telling it, okay, we're going to start finishing, basically.
Yep. Take all the energy that I give you from here on out and push it into your flower sites.
Right. I love that. That's awesome. So I want to just keep talking about this, but we're going to take a quick smoke break and give a little quick note from our sponsor here.
Yeah, and when we come back, we're going to be giving away a care package from House and Garden. So stay tuned to see what that entails, huh?
Wait. Be right
Peace.
back. Hi, I'm Nichole from LevelUp Seed and Garden Supply, and I'm here to tell you about my favorite nutrient line, House and Gardens. It's what I've used and loved for years, and let me tell you why. It's cost effective, it has good quality source products, and it gets the job done. Aquaflakes A and B is perfect for DWC, ebb and flow, aeroponics, rock wool, or peat moss. Coco's A and B is made specifically for cocoa, taking into account the cation exchange capacity of core. And Soil A and B provides vital nutrition for enriched soils and contains every essential nutrient. Using these baselines and their one-of-a-kind additives, I get top shelf flower every time, and you can too. Come see us in East Peoria or Springfield and try out House and Garden nutrients for yourself. And always remember, money doesn't grow on trees. That is a lie. Level Up, Seed and Garden Supply.
We're back.
Welcome back. And we are still here with House and Gardens. We got Ward with us today.
Yeah, we got just a couple more questions for him, I think, right?
Yeah, we got a couple more things to talk about. But before we get back into it, let's do our giveaway.
You want to do the giveaway now?
Yeah, what do you think? We have a lot of things to give away, so we could give away some now and some at the end of the show.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to give away a swag package from House and Garden. And we appreciate you and coming on the show and making the trip and everything. And
we do. We really appreciate it. You came all the way from sunny, maybe warm California, and here you are. It's, I don't know what the temperature is, but it's definitely negative.
It's today. Negative. I think it was like -6 on the way here.
Wind chill -15. You know? So we really appreciate you coming and joining us during this time.
Yeah,
of course.
So we're gonna give away a House and Garden swag pack. So let's give away, what is this, Nichole? An all-in-one kit?
That is a starter kit. And what is nice about the starter kit is you can literally get started, have a whole harvest, grow and harvest with just this kit right here, and it'll give you a chance to try out House and Gardens and see what you think. Let's just pull it out here and we'll kind of go through what's in the starter kit so you have an idea of what you're getting in this starter kit. You got the Soil A and B, that's your baselines there. You got the Drip Clean, which we're going to talk about that here in a minute, what makes that so special.
And look, you get 2 shooting powders, so that's 50 gallons.
Yeah, 50 gallons of your PK Boost. You got your Bud XL. This is for when you get into flower. You'll use A and B in your Bud XL and flower. What's that one?
We got the
Ooh, your
nitrogen boost. So it comes with everything, which is great. So you're going to get to, maybe you could even test this on 1 or 2 plants next to your other stuff and say, oh, I will
really
make the
like
switch.
how that works. Yeah. And then you got the multi-zen too. So you do A and B and multi-zen during your veg period.
And top booster. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yep. We're going to use that during week 5.
And the most important part that we talked about earlier was the amino treatment.
Man,
That's
this has
hard.
everything you need in it.
And after
doesn't it?
talking to you about this, I may add some amino treatment to mine just to take it up a notch. And I can do that with your product. That's what I like. You know, I feel comfortable just grabbing something and using a little bit of it and seeing what I think of it.
And adding it in with different lines and whatnot.
How do you feel about that?
Absolutely.
You're seeing great results with people adding certain things, and we're all scientists here, you know. So we're all trying to discover our own ways and stuff, you know. So
absolutely, we play nice with others.
Yeah, so this allows people to play science at home.
Yep.
So this whole kit, we're going to give it away today, and all you have to do is comment on this show and let us know what House and Gardens product have you tried, or what House and Gardens product would you like to try. Just let us know what you think about House and Gardens and kind of your experience with it, or what you would like to use if you've never tried it before.
And also, we might pick a couple of winners because we're going to give away some swag also. We got a stocking cap, we got a cooler, we got some koozies, and we got a hoodie.
A hoodie, too.
So,
what do you think? Do you want to do that at the end of the show?
Yeah,
we'll do another giveaway at the end?
We'll tell you how to enter to win this stuff here, and it'll be another little giveaway.
Yeah, so we have the Cardinals tickets, the the starter kit, the Cardinals tickets, the starter kit, and then the swag bag. So we have 3 different giveaways. All you got to do is comment, engage with us, and you will be entered to win. We will draw names from those people who comment and enter to win.
And maybe there's somebody you want us to invite on the show that you think needs to be on the show. Why don't you tag them or tell us who they are? And possibly, if we feel it, we want them here too, just like you guys do. So just let us know who you want us to reach out to next, and we'll go to work for you guys.
I know we've got Athena coming up and a couple other different companies.
Athena and maybe Gaia Green.
Yep. So if you got somebody else that you want to hear from, let us know, and we'll get on that for you. But back to the show today. Yeah. We want to talk about the rest of this line here. So Ward, if I can ask one more question about the nutrients here, tell me about the Drip Clean.
All right, so the Drip Clean is a product that you add in every single time you're feeding your plants any food. Basically what it is doing, it's cleaved ions that have been magnetized. They're grabbing onto salt particles, breaking them down into forms that are absorbable by the plant. So essentially you are maximizing nutrient absorption, and you are also eliminating any salt buildup in the system.
So it's a flushing agent.
Kind of.
Kind of a flushing agent. It assists with the flushing process.
So do you still recommend like a 10% runoff when you're watering with that?
Runoff is always good. It is not necessary.
Okay. Because I worry about a salt buildup.
With using the Drip Clean. Yeah. So essentially, you're flushing the system every single time you're feeding. So one of the most important things about Drip Clean is you want to use it from start to finish. If you feed your plant for a week and then you pour some Drip Clean in, all of the residual salts that are anywhere in the system, whether it's in your dirt, in your irrigation lines, in the root zone, they're all going to be released and absorbed by the plant. So if there's a week worth of salts there and you pour Drip Clean in, all of that stuff is going to be sucked right up into the plant, and it's going to burn things.
Okay, I got a really good question then.
Yeah, I've got a question.
So a lot of our customers that we help, they have a buildup of salts in their plant because the pH is off. And then when they unlock that pH, they unlock a lot of nutrients, and it's too much. So are you telling me that Drip Clean would be good for them to use to bring their plant back also? Like it would help assist in the salt buildup of somewhat?
Yes, it will, but again, you if you've already got salts built up in the system, you don't want to just go pour Drip Clean in there because it's going to release all those salts immediately.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you're going to want to use something else to break the salt down, and then
because the plant's going to uptake it.
Exactly.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah.
So this is, I don't know that I've ever seen or heard of another product like this. Like, this is new to me.
Yeah.
I can't say I'm not using this, so I can't say that I really know.
Yeah, there really isn't. Drip Clean utilizes ionic bonding versus corrosive measures, which is essentially what a lot of the other acids and things that people use to clean their systems do. So it's a very unique product, and that's another thing that sets this line apart from a lot of others is this is all science backed. This was created by a guy who sits in a lab and pulls apart seeds and learns about plant chemistry and then tries to utilize things he's learning in his products, or when these products were made. This is what he was doing. So it's everything has a very specific purpose, and that's essentially.
And I know we didn't go on your website or anything, but people can go on your website and read the details on all these products, right?
Yeah, and we're also available, 24/7. We have a tech support line. We're all growers.
Yeah, your customer service is fantastic.
Yeah, we, if you don't get us right when you first call, we try to get back to you right away.
Well, that's how I know you guys are growers too, because when we have a problem, we need to fix it as soon as possible, and you guys can feel that pain.
The urgency.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. It's growing is a learning process, just like everything in life, and we're all learning new things every day, or we at least have the ability to learn new things every day. And people can feel free to reach out. They can send us pictures. We'll help diagnose plant diseases.
I don't think a lot of people know that. And as a new grower, it's so important to have a network and a safety net that you can call when things are going wrong and you don't know what to do.
And someone that you can trust and just can't say, hey, try this because I think it works,
Yeah.
Someone you can trust has seen the results,
The internet's a dark hole of misinformation.
Absolutely. And that's another thing, at least with our guys, is, we are not ever actively trying to sell you on anything.
Right.
If you call us and you're running X nutrient line, but you want to try a couple of these products or whatever, we will help you figure out, how to do what you want to do to the best of our knowledge.
Just the fact that you guys are growers with some experience makes all the difference, and as somebody who has used the line before, I know that it is a good quality customer service. You get the help that you need, and you're talking to somebody that has been there before.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that call in that aren't even necessarily using House and Garden and are just having problems and can't get a hold of anyone to help them, and we'll help them with whatever they're using, and essentially, when that happens, oftentimes when we help someone out of a situation, then they will call back at the end and say, hey, you saved my garden, thank you.
Exactly, yeah.
Now what do you do?
Yeah, and what do you use? And
exactly.
There's a loyalty that comes with that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're about building relationships, not about trying to sell you on anything.
And
we agree with that.
And
100%.
we agree with that too. And because a lot of people don't want to walk into a store and say you should run this or that. We never point anyone into a direction. We just ask them, what do they want to do? What are you looking to grow? How do you want to grow? Okay, here's choices.
Here's some ideas.
Yep. Well,
so I love that.
People have different ways of doing different things, and there's not one right way to do it.
That's right.
So,
That's exactly right.
And we don't want to say there's a right way to do that because we're discovering new things.
Yeah,
and we want you at
right.
home to discover the next new thing.
Yep. And share the knowledge,
Yes.
Even if sometimes discovering new things means a failure, and that's okay, we have to share those too.
Yeah, encouraging growth is the bottom line.
That's right.
Whether it's plant
Just
growth,
being better than your last
human growth, mental growth, all of that kind of stuff.
I love that. So I think the misconception with the drip clean is a lot of people think it is like a drip line cleaner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, that makes sense. Drip clean, as the name, could be a little bit misleading. And,
Right.
But it's talking about the runoff dripping clean, right?
Yeah, and like the flushing of the salts.
That's right.
So runoff drip clean.
So I think this was such an important discovery for people today that are watching this podcast.
And that's a product no one else is really offering that I know of, right?
No.
The drip clean, there's
no other product.
so there's
out
not a lot of
there.
options there, which I like.
The amino acid, the drip clean, you're not going to find anything out there like it.
Yeah, so it's a great product, and it's
And how new is that product?
no, it's one of the originals.
Originals, okay,
Amazing.
cool.
And it's 0.4 mLs per gallon, so
it's going to last
very,
forever.
very concentrated.
That's another thing that I think is a misconception of people. This is a very affordable line. Now, a lot of people think, oh man, the top shooter is so expensive, or the amino treatment. You are not going through that bottle in one harvest.
Yeah.
So those additives are going to last you. All the additives last you more than one harvest.
And-
it's just the baselines.
And if you want to save money, buy the bigger bottle because you save money every step up, right?
Sure,
Show
absolutely.
that big bottle of the roots there. Hold that bad boy up.
Look at that.
bad
So
boy.
that'll-
Hold on, you got to turn the camera.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Here we go. Look at this
There
thing.
we go.
That'll make 5,000 gallons of food.
That's
Amazing.
awesome. We use a small amount in our cloners, and it
Yeah,
makes
you
the roots
use a
blow
small
up.
amount each time.
Yeah, it's 1 mil per gallon.
Yeah. So
And I mean, all of
that's 500 gallons, you said? 5,000.
This is 5,000 gallons of food.
5,000 gallons. Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
anybody on that level at home? Jeez, Louise, that's a big house. Huh?
Time
And
to
I mean,
level up.
most of our additives are 3.8 mils or less. As you said before, the base nutrients you're going to run out of a little quicker, but they're also the least expensive part of the line.
That's right. They're least expensive, and you will go through those a little bit faster, obviously, because you're using. And it's the baseline that you're going up. So you're maybe starting at 5, going up to 6, 7, 8. I top out at 12 milliliters per gallon. That's where I top out at. Is that normal?
Yeah, and then you're going to pull back as you
And
start.
then I start to lean back out. So I top out at about week 6, and then I start to kind of pull back from there.
Yep.
But I would say it's at least 3 to 4 harvests on my additives, if not longer.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, a
go
little
for
bit
while.
goes a long way. I
Yeah,
mean,
they're concentrated.
essentially, we only put enough water in the bottles to keep the product stable.
Yes.
So
So you're using 1 milliliter, maybe 2 milliliters per gallon during certain phases of the flower life cycle.
So the concentration is strong, and that's what I like.
Yeah.
You don't have to use a bunch. You could just use smaller amounts, and
That's right.
you're not paying for water.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
It's a big
And
benefit.
then your feeding chart that you have an 8-week chart or a 10-week chart that you can follow. And it's very simple. They make it really easy. You can just do the baseline, or you can add all the additives, and they show
Yes.
you each way to use it.
so in my opinion, the 8-week would be used for like the indicas, the quick finishers, and then the bigger one would be for your sativas, just for everyone at home. The 12-week, I ran some stuff. I thought it was a hybrid, and it lead majorly sativa and takes forever to finish.
Yeah,
So
or some strains, even if they're hybrids, they're gonna just kind of take longer to finish. So
yeah, so I like that you offer the 8-week and the 12-week.
Yeah, and that's just in paper print. We also have a free downloadable smartphone app, as well as a website where you can go to the nutrient calculator and you can adjust your veg and bloom times
I really
to
love
whatever
when-
length you want.
when companies have that set up where I can go in, I can type in my specific numbers for this run, and it'll give me exactly the recipe that I need.
Yep.
How simple is that? It's plug and play.
Yeah. So yeah, if you're going to do a 5-week veg and a 12-week bloom, you just pull the smartphone app up or go on the website and you can adjust those parameters and it'll calculate it out for you.
Love that.
Well, before we let you go, let's talk about these giveaways real quick. And
Yeah, we have our last giveaway. It's a swag pack from House and Gardens.
and I'm just gonna say, anybody who comments on this episode, we're gonna put you in the drawing for this.
Yeah, anybody.
interacts with us, let us know who you want to
Engage with
see
us.
in the next episodes.
Yeah, let us know maybe what has been your favorite episode so far. What do you want to see in future episodes?
And there's some stuff we've been working on. And
tell us Steve's got a booger in his nose. Whatever,
Do I?
just whatever.
oh, you would tell me, wouldn't you? It's a boat in
I
canal
don't know
number
if I
2.
would.
Got a boat in the canal.
Got a boat.
That's code language.
That's code
there.
language,
Boat in the
boat in the
canal.
canal.
Boat in the canal.
Sure.
All right,
All
so
right, what's our giveaway?
the Cardinals tickets. So remember, on the Cardinals tickets, you guys at home, just shout out whatever team you like, and you'll be
team?
entered to win a
What's
couple
your team?
Cardinals tickets.
I'm a Cardinals girl.
And
Cardinals girl.
Ward looks like he's a Cardinals fan too,
Yeah,
judging
you can
by
see
the
by
hat,
that
right?
nice little hat he's got on there.
So Ward, you can enter too, I guess. All right, and maybe me and you'll win. I'm like, oh, we won. You're taking me.
Right.
You're taking me to the game.
And then also we got the all-in-one
Starter kit.
starter kit. And Nichole, what do they got to do to enter to win this?
Yeah, on that one, they just need to tell us what kind of House and Gardens additive do you use, or if you're not using one, what would you like to add to your recipe?
And this is probably the most expensive, biggest prize we've given away. I really feel like
One
this
of
is
them for sure.
This is awesome.
It's worth over $200.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's a good giveaway.
and-
So let's hear what you have to say. And then the last one, hold it up here, Steve, for everybody to see. Oh, you're dropping it all over. Let me grab it.
Yeah. So we got the hoodie.
It's a House and Gardens hoodie.
A cooler.
Yeah, and that's like a portable cooler.
And do you have any extra ones of these? My head was cold. this morning. It was like -5. I went out to the car
out.
and I almost got frostbite on the forehead.
So we're going to keep you warm. We're going to keep you warm with your hoodie and your
stocking
beanie.
cap.
Yes.
Yeah, a little beanie.
And then you can carry around some cool drinks with you.
Yeah, or whatever. This looks like it might be
And we have
scent-proof.
some koozies to go with it. This one these are House and Gardens nutrients. It says reggae on the river. So it's just kind of a cool reggae design on it. So a couple little swags for you guys.
Yeah, so if you just interact with us on this episode and comment on there, we will enter you to win. We'll select a few people.
So lots of giveaways today,
Yeah.
guys. Just engage with us. And we want to say thank you to House and Gardens and
Yeah.
Ward for coming all this way.
But before we let you go, Ward, is there anyone you want to say thank you to? Maybe someone that's been a good mentor in your life, or somebody the people at home should maybe watch or pay attention to that's got some good stuff out there.
Yeah, I would just say thank you to, everyone past and present who, has helped me in my path and, helped me learn about cannabis and growing and community and life and all of those things.
We've all learned from somebody, right?
Yep.
So it's always good to pass that along.
Those people know who they are.
And what's great now is I feel like you're one of those people that are helping other people. So it's
I'm
cool.
trying.
It's like, it's
Absolutely.
a revolving door. And
Pass it along.
Yep, it's all part of the big circle.
I love that.
And we appreciate you. So
Thank you, House and Gardens, for joining us today. And we will be back. But we'll be back soon, right?
yeah, we're gonna be back soon, and we got some cool new shows coming to you. I think we have a cooking show we're working on right now.
We've got some other nutrient lines coming, and lots of secret grows that we're going to.
Yeah, so we're going to be starting to visit some secret grows, and we're going to see the results of people's actions and the combinations they're using, from lights to nutrients, and what it finishes out and what it looks like.
Yeah.
And we feel like that's some great knowledge to bring to you guys. So
And the different nutrient lines they're using. So, maybe I'll let you guys visit my grow, and you'll get to see
and we'll get to see this.
the House and Gardens in action.
Oh, that would be cool.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right, well, we'll see you guys next
Thanks, guys.
episode.
Join
Peace.
us.
Thanks, Ward.
Thank you, guys.
No matter who it is, 'cause I need just a little reefer. You see, smoking sweet as Chiba. A jazz cabbage in my lettuce bag. Sweet for my